Hello, beautiful souls. Lori Rising here, star channeler, transformational coach, and sacred guide. Happy Leo new moon. It's happening on August 4th, 2024 at 7:12 a.m. Eastern, and it's happening at 12 degrees of Leo. Now, on a new moon is when the sun and moon are conjunct, so the sun is also at 12 degrees of Leo. And new moons are wonderful times to really plant new seeds of intention and creation into your life. This is where we really begin in the foundation of energy and allow the physical unfolding to happen with ease and from a place of alignment where we take inspired action and risk. This is a major manifestation portal that we're in right now. And can we say holy light portal? We have quite the lineup happening. So we've also got Lughnasadh, which is the cross-quarter holiday between the summer solstice and the fall equinox. That fixed date is August 1st, but the astrological date is usually around August 7th to 8th. This year it's on August 7th. So that's going to happen after the Leo new moon. Now that festival is all about the beginning of harvest. It's about peak abundance in our lives. And from there, we move into the 8-8 Lion's Gate, which is where our spiritual sun, the star Sirius, and our earthly sun are at their highest point of light. And that is where we stand in a new courage, where we really shine in our new hearts, being led by them and guided by them. This has been coming through for years. All of the transformational work you've been doing on those wounds and those triggers and that resistance in your life and in the stories that you run, that's what's taking you to a space of the innate guidance that these systems came in with. Like, we are the highest technology. I know you know that if you've been hanging out with me. And when we really do start to not only believe it, but we feel it and we follow it, that's where the courageous action comes in. When our hearts are vibrating and they're saying yes, like they're giving you that sacred yes energy to something, and you come back with all of the resistance or blocks of the mind, we're moving on a much slower, matrix-driven, linear path. It can be a lot more easeful, it can be a lot more fun, and it can be something that puts us into the space of thriving in our lives without having to like work hard for it. We were meant to come in and have a birthright of abundance and magnificence and connection and love and just being able to hold the greatness of duality and contrast and know that it's there for a divine purpose. It's not there for us to dig our heels in and like battle out our lives from. So what do you think? It is going to be massive where we're moving. And I know you're already feeling it. The manifestation energy is super high right now. So no matter what, I want to invite you right now to notice what has come up in your life that has felt really exciting. It's felt so aligned. And it was like, oh, if only I could. Like, oh, I'll do it next time. Oh, this, oh, that. I just want you to notice it. Right? And then I want you to have an awareness about the roadblocks, the excuses, the arguments about why you can't do it right now. Then I want you to tap into the truth of if you even let yourself get into the creator energy. If you allowed yourself to find a new story about what you were making up as to why it wasn't possible for you right now. Yeah. That's what I want you to sit with. It's like, we've got to keep revealing these things instead of letting them be these very deep programs that are just our default. And it's so normalized for us to deny the thing that's going to lead us somewhere a lot more expansive in our lives, in all of the areas. But the first thing that we have to do is we have to really discern what our belief is about it. Because whatever your belief is going to run strong. It's going to pulsate through your cells and your blood and your bones. That literally is the fuel to what we create, to the artistry of this life, because we are all artists. And that takes me to this Leo new moon. Leo's energy is about being an artist, a creator, playing, romance, courage, bravery, shining, bright, sun, light, like all of the things, right? It's like going for it. It's the fire energy, it's the external energy, but it's also a fixed sign. So we have to look at that. So where do we actually dig our heels in, and where do we start to come up to our own beliefs about something? Because when we can really just get curious at the exact moment that a hint of resistance or challenge or frustration or anger or fear comes in, it's an opportunity. It's an opportunity at growth always. Our emotions are there to guide us. Our heart is there to lead us. Our mind is there to create the things that are being called upon by those first and foremost. Now, Leo is the solar plexus. The solar plexus is your gut instinct. It's your intuition, which leads into that innate guidance system. So you've got to start getting really well versed in hearing the messages that come through that portal, not the what ifs and the rationalization and the fear and the resistance of the mind. So this is a great time for you to really play with it, right? Get into this. Leo's all about children. It's about that inner child joy that we still should be functioning from. We should let that be actually leading us. We should let that be filling our days up with spontaneity and excitement and colors and vibrancy. So play with it and let it lead you. Just say yes to it and see what happens. There's no right or wrong. If you work with me, you know this. There's no good or bad. There's exploration in what our soul wants to share with us, in what the reflection of the world around us is mirroring to us, in our relationships, in the experiences, in the energy, in the feelings that we have every single day. So let all of this energy and this wild, huge, exquisite portal take you to new heights. Open up more of your light and your brightness that you came here to shine in this world. Now we've got several meteor showers. I'm recording this on the 29th. We've got 2 meteor showers that are intersecting on July 30th, the night of July 30th. I don't remember their names, but trust me, go out, check it out. And then we've got the Perseids meteor shower that's happening on August 12th to the 13th, after the Lionsgate portal. Now, if you're going to be at my next Octave retreat, like divinely timed, I go with spirit on these things. And later on, I find out in my matrix mind or my physical world, like why I was led to create them at that time. This is it. We are literally going to be out in the earth under the Perseids meteor shower, moving into a sound bath frequency, activation, and remembrance. It is going to be divine, like for sure. So those of you that are going to be there, we're actually going to be a circle of 8. I can feel it in my bones, in my blood. The number 8 is the number of infinity. And it's interesting that we've got 7:12 a.m. for the Leo new moon, and it's at 12 degrees, and 12 adds up to 3. So the number 3 is all about the divine feminine forever. So that light, that gut instinct, how we receive and how we welcome messages, guidance, reflections, even challenge into our life in order to help us grow rather than to drop us into resistance. This is all about the 3 and the 8, the 3 and the 8, the 3 and the 8, right? Because when we truly sit in that divine feminine activation, the sacred masculine comes in. That's what gives us the strength to trust it. That's what I feel like is really shifting at this time, is that many of us have had these messages for quite a while, but we haven't trusted them because it's so easy to default to what we've known and to default to what everyone around us is doing as well, because that's the dominant energy. And we are energy before we're matter. We're energy before we're physical. So you are an energy worker. You're an energy connector, communicator. So whatever you're feeling the most of in your life, you're going to just slip right into. It's going to be easy. So this is where the number one thing that you can do if you want to shift your life, if you want to go for your biggest goal in life, is you create the stream of consciousness around you. You invest in the environment that is going to hold that sacred space for you to believe it, to be immersed in it, to become it. Because so many of us we're dipping our toes, right? It's like we're dipping our toe over there, and that's what we want. But then we come back and we let ourselves plug into these TV shows, movies, the media, the news, the politics, whatever it is. We let ourselves plug into the division, to the separation, to the isolation, to the fear. So if we really, really want to activate this Leo new moon and this lion energy, that the courage of the heart, is we've got to come back to who we are at our core. And at our core, we are unconditional love. We are unity consciousness. We are Christ consciousness. We can hold the enormity of how unique every single one of us is. And we can hold the space that we all come from different experiences, ideas, and thoughts. But when we get to that point where we can hold it because it's coming from a place of unconditional love, we can trust that all of the separation will actually move out, because it becomes so much more powerful when we come together and we hold the journey of us all, and we shift the foundation of energy, and we're no longer almost being manipulated with the energy on a subconscious level, because we can tell ourselves that we're one way. But then when we believe and think and feel a different way, that's what comes through to others, to communities, to families, to friends, to connections, all of it. So when we can zoom out a little bit and realize that when we get to that space of no longer needing the outside to change in order for us to be in this deep space of fulfillment, of magnificence, of alignment, of centeredness, of balance, of being resourced, that's the ultimate empowerment, babes. That's it right there. And Beezus is coming in just for that. So that's a little bit about the energy that's going down and all of these activations that are opening up for us. I know it's intense, right? Right now at the peak of harvest, it's almost like we can get exhausted from all of that outputting and external energy, all of the light, all of the intensity and the warmth. And so that's why it's really important to do your new moon ritual, which has come back, and check in with what's happening in your foundation and your energy. What's leaky? What's not feeling good right now? Because only you are the one that can change that. Only you are the one that can dive deeper in to explore it and transform it and become the innate medicine from it. That's the beauty of this life. That's the beauty of sovereignty, of agency and autonomy. So let's get into this Leo new moon a little bit more. But before I share the chart, I just want to talk about what we do in these videos. Is I tap into the collective energy, what I'm feeling in my intuitive channel, and talk about that in the beginning. Then I am going to share the astrology chart of the Leo new moon with you, and I'm going to highlight the aspects that I'm talking about with the transiting planets and points that are moving in our system. And then at the end, I bring in a card read to help us feel into the energy and the messages that the guides are sharing with us on, kind of giving us a heads up of what to look for and how to actually have the answers to the test, activate these things, and they're going to take you to the place where your innate guidance system is trying to get you to in ease. And those new paths and possibilities are going to help you live deeper in your divine soul blueprint. So if you are new to this channel, welcome. I'm so excited that you found us. Like I said, my name is Lori Rising of therawandwildhearts.com. Definitely hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell so that you get notified whenever I drop a new video. The podcast is on this channel, as well as these astrology videos, and I'm sprinkling in here and there more videos for you to really activate new codes within your system with me. So I would love that exchange. Please help me grow this channel so that these messages get out on a wider scale, because don't you want to live in that kind of harmony and that kind of ease in your life? Don't you want generations to come to be able to tap into their unique magnificence and know their unique medicine, why they came here, and the purpose and passion of being alive on this planet at this time and growing in that Leo energy of entrepreneurship, right? The more and more that we step into getting local and sharing with each other, buying from each other, investing with each other, the more we grow at the root, right? It's the grassroots movement that's happening as we're moving through this consciousness revolution. So if you want to know more about my programs and offers, head on over to my website. The links are below in the caption. And also, I have a freebie that's going to help you activate this portal and this Leo new moon energy. It's called Lead Your Life. It's an 8-day broadcast channel event, and it's incredible. I take you through body, mind, soul energy. That really is the deepest space of aligned living, where you get to eradicate the struggle. You don't have to spend all of your energy going through the struggle of all the experiences that show up and working them out in your mind. Even though that's the way that we learned that life happened as a very hard worker, as slow growth and progress, and never shifting our focus or what we decided we were going to do and be in our life at 17, 18 years old. That's old news, babes. You get to evolve and change and become the new iteration of yourself over and over and over. And in that space, you are limitless. So I do have a very special retreat coming up, like I talked about, the next Octave. It's happening in the gorgeous countryside of Iowa. We're going to be under the Perseids meteor shower. This is next level, and it will be your next Octave. I shockingly have this rare opportunity where there is one space left. And I know that there is someone out there that is meant to fill this space, because I know that this circle is meant to be a circle of 8 for the 8-8 portal, for the 8-year that we're in, for the infinity that we are, for the eternal light, consciousness, energy, and life force that we are. That is what we are going to be stepping into. This is going to be a space of mastery where we bring all of us together, every realm, every dimension, every part of us, and we move forward from that place of a solid, grounded knowingness in our lives. It is going to be incredible. So check that out below. See if that space is still available for you, because it's happening on August 9th. You get to declare it. You get to be in that Leo, courage, and brave energy and jump in now. So the retreat, if you're not going to be the one, the 8 that completes this circle, be the one that leads your life. Join my free event, Lead Your Life, below. It is absolutely free, and it could change everything for you. All you have to do is show up, and you are going to have a beautiful, fun, and wild ride with me. I promise. Okay, so let's get into this chart. All right, so here we go. We've got the sun and moon at Leo right here. And what I want to point out is their sextile with Mars and Jupiter and Gemini. So you can see that Mars is at 9 degrees and Jupiter's at 15. They are on their way to a big conjunction, which is going to be absolutely incredible. It's more yummy energy for us to tap into, because Jupiter is the planet of expansion. Mars is the planet of action. Gemini is the sign of communication, ideas, thoughts, inspirations. It's also the sign of comedy and fun. There's a lightness to Gemini. It's the twins. So we can look at Gemini as duality, but again, how does duality guide us? How do we use duality in its highest and best expression in our life, rather than continuing to stay on this me versus them, this right or wrong, this like duality that's only been holding us back? So this is going to be, I've talked about this in many of my videos. When we get to Chiron and Gemini, I believe that we really are going to be thought manifestation, because we're embodying the skills of manifestation now. So we're basically evolving ourselves and DNA into it so that it becomes our default by the time we get to Chiron and Gemini, which is so exciting. But this is a major activation for that right now. So we just finished the Mars-Uranus conjunction with Algol at 26 degrees of Taurus. And that, my friends, was intense. We know what went down at that rally, and lots of things that have went down in the politics since then. So now we get to explore this new energy and the energy of expansion, right? That was the energy of surprise, of quick change. And this is the energy of taking action in our thoughts, our ideas, our inspiration, our communication, even transportation, and even just finding joy in our lives daily. Let's expand it. And how can we go further with it? How can you start to take it out on a bigger stage and out into the community and into life and maybe into your soul business? And so having these two sextiling the sun and moon in Leo gives you all the courage to do that, gives you the bravery, right? Leo is all about leading with the heart. Leo is about taking the first action in many ways as the artist, as the entrepreneur, right? Because those, I'm going to quote, categories are not the ones that follow the rules and how they were told to do it. They're the ones that are like, no, I'm going to go out on my own and I'm going to express myself. And I know that that's going to magnetize people to me from there. And then I also want to talk about the Jupiter-Saturn square. This is a big deal. It's not exact here yet. It will be coming exact though. And this is the first opening square after the Great Conjunction in 2020. So that was when Jupiter and Saturn were conjunct in Aquarius. Now they're in Gemini and Pisces in this opening square. So that's going to be like the first integration of what went down in the Great Conjunction between the two, right? And then we're going to go through two more squares after this. So it's the first of 3 squares. So Saturn wants us to do something well. It's going to create constriction or even restriction on something. So we slow down and we take our time and we become masterful at something in our physical world. And Jupiter is going to expand that. So, you know, don't forget that Saturn being in Pisces is all about discernment. Discernment of your spiritual world, of your feelings and your emotions. It's a water sign, so it's very receptive. It's that feminine energy, and of who guides you. Who do you invite into your world for support in that expansion? Because Pisces is limitless, it's boundless, it doesn't like rules and regulations. And then we come into the communication of that in Jupiter with Gemini. So squares allow us to see something in that space where we feel a little bit restricted, and how do we use them together to activate it in a new way? So this could be something that you feel pretty deeply with a flare of that desire for freedom, that desire for liberation, which happened in that Aquarius energy. It's like the constriction where, you know, more rules and regulations were put on us, and that was showing us that that doesn't work for us, right? And that's that Aquarius energy of like, wait a second, no, this isn't going to work. So you've got to look at what's not working in the way that you're communicating, thinking, expressing, right? And in the way that you are being led by your guidance system, by your psychic abilities, by your telepathy, by your feelings and your emotion. And how do you take the steps to actually open up in a way that it will work for you? And oftentimes that's going to be much more easy than the way that you've been doing it or the way that it felt like it needed to happen. And then something else I want to point out that's not being talked about too much. Chiron and Eris are conjunct. Eris is the goddess of strife and discord, but it's really, she's the goddess of justice. So she fights until justice is done. And this is in Aries, and Chiron is the wounded healer. So these are like the wounds of the self, of like how we show up in the world, but also of the body, the physical self, and also of like our own independence and the way that we pioneer in our own lives and do something new. It's like the way that we filter or don't filter ourselves. So Eris is coming in to really defend and fight for that, fight for you, fight for who you are, fight for the uniqueness that you are and the innovator that you are, and how you can just go for it. And by going for it, you'll never go wrong because you'll always get more information. You'll always be able to quantum leap in that space. When we hold ourselves back because it's like all of the excuses, right? Like I have to wait for the perfect time. I have to wait for the right opportunity. Then you're never gonna actually take those quantum leaps. You're never gonna take those jumps in your life. Aries is all about risk taking. Leo is all about courage. So let yourself really drop into this energy, because what I want to show you here is that Chiron is trine to Venus in Leo. So we've got more Leo energy, and we've got a trine between Chiron, Eris, and Venus, which is very harmonious energy. So apply this to your relationships. Like really take some time, explore them, and see where you could be showing up in your courage, your heart, your innovation, your filterlessness, like the full vibrancy and fire of who you are, and how the relationship can actually be enhanced by that. Because it's probably a story that you're running, which is why you're holding yourself back, because that's always why we stop ourselves. It's the story that we're running, and it's the energy that we're inviting around us, right? Like clean it up, clean up any leaky energy in your life in whatever way feels aligned for you. But that's going to be a signature of Aries and Leo as well, because you can look at Chiron as the wounds that are coming up in your life. Step into your power in them. You've got this, babe. And then finally, the last thing that I want to talk about is Mercury, because one day after the Leo new moon, we're actually going to be moving into a Mercury retrograde. Mercury is in the sign of Venus, which is his home sign. So it's totally exalted. It's super happy here. We actually like this retrograde a lot. We actually like all retrogrades because it gives us this space to really revisit many things in our lives. It's like, slow down, let your mind rest a little bit, and really refine whatever you're doing in the energy of the sign that it's in. So it's starting in Virgo here. It moves back to Leo. So let this be a refinement of how you're showing up as heaven on earth in your daily life, how you're showing up in service to others. Those are like basic, but those are really strong, beautiful Virgo traits. And then when we retrograde back to Leo, let that activate the refinement of your heart in those spaces. So what does your heart really want in those spaces? How does your heart show up to be of service in a way that feels elevated and enlightened, not in a way that feels obligatory, not in a self-sacrificing way, because Leo does not self-sacrifice. Leo stands very loud and proud on the stage of their life. So we all can take a page out of Leo's book, because when we are in deep self-love, like we truly love ourselves. We love the fact that we said yes to this experience. We love the body that we were gifted as the vehicle to move through. We love the challenges even that showed up, because they've taken us into such higher states of wisdom and enlightenment. We are unstoppable. I promise you. So let this Virgo Leo retrograde be really, really enlightening and empowering in your life, because we really, really do like this. All right, let's see what the guides have to say today. I'm actually using one of my decks that I very rarely use. It's the Shaman's Dream, and I'm bringing it in because of all of the light activation that's happening. P.S. The geomagnetics are absolutely going off. They are wild. I don't even really talk about it anymore because it happens so much, but you're feeling it, right? This is where you've got to like do the basics. You've got to get your sleep at night. And recently I've heard like, as long as you get sleep between 10 to 4, that's like prime time sleep. I'm going to start going to bed earlier. You've got to stay hydrated on a daily basis. It makes a huge difference. And get those vitamin D blasts. Sun your bum. All right. Okay, so the first card is Mindful, and it's Groupthink. The second card, Lay of the Land, Ancestral Wisdom. And the third card, Dragon's Hoard, Protecting the Future. Oh, that's really beautiful. So this Mindful with Groupthink, it doesn't feel like an abundance in tapping into the group thought. It actually feels like when you can let yourself kind of like zoom out, like get that transcendent space, right? Get that higher perspective, because we're feeling a lot of people's opinions, judgments, and ideas. Like there's so much negative energy being thrown out with all of the communication If you live in the US, you know this well. It's like what's happening in the game or the show today. I mean, we all, if we just look back, like this is repeating over and over. It's getting so tired and it's old, it's bored, it's not new. You know what new is getting in your creator energy and like getting yourself into the deepest, highest manifestation mastery of your freaking life, like living that kind of flow. That's exciting. That's new. That's vibrant. Tapping into that bullshit that's been coming around over and over and over. That is not new. That is not going to change. No matter what you say, no matter what they say, it is not designed to change. So let's be mindful about what we're tapping into and the energy in the foundation of what it is. So as soon as you feel it, shift it. If it's not high vibing, shift it. Like find the strength in you to just change it and start moving to what's high vibe, what really gets your juices and your creator energy flowing. And to me, that is the lay of the land. That is the wisdom and the energy that is in the land. Like no matter what has happened on the land is the ultimate medicine. Gaia is the ultimate energy shifter, creator, transformer. And she is the ultimate example of the glory of death and rebirth, right? I didn't even talk about this, y'all. We haven't even reached Pluto in Capricorn yet. Yeah, it's really big. So Pluto is going back into Capricorn on September 1st until November 19th. So you've got to get aligned. You've got to get into your strength. I just put out a podcast episode yesterday called Get Resourced, Babe. It's a longer podcast, but I feel like it's really important for you to tap into that. So you can check that out here on YouTube. I'll link it at the end. It's also, I'll put it in the caption below. So y'all, let's get resourced. Let's welcome the dismantling of this. Let's welcome the destruction to come to light, because this has destroyed too many of our ancestors. They've lived and died angry about politics, but we're going to change it by not joining that system anymore. That system has never shifted to be here for humanity, to love humanity. I will tell you right now, like there is no system where the politics are free and easy and aligned and wonderful. But when I was in New Zealand, it was a moment where I was like, oh my gosh, this is what it feels like for a government to actually love their people, to actually care about their people, to actually want their people to be healthy and well. And I'm telling you, it is a wonderful feeling. We can get there, but we've got to start here. And starting here is about the environment and stream of consciousness that you create so that you get to be the best, strongest, and most centered version of you that does not get taken out by these different cycles and seasons and energies and changes and experiences that are a part of this humanity. And that takes us to Dragon's Hoard, protecting the future. That's what we're doing with this. So not only do I want you to wrap your mind around it, I want you to wrap your heart and your soul around it. Like what you're doing every time you show up to really explore this, to transcend that deep, dark pattern that has felt so normal in your life. You are doing this for the future generations. You're doing this for humanity. You will be remembered. We are the ancestors right now. So let's come together and let's create the biggest consciousness revolution movement that has ever landed on this planet, because we have so much help. We have so much support from all of the light, the photonic light that's pouring onto the planet, the magnetic shifts that are happening in the earth. Like, yes, it feels chaotic and it feels overwhelming, and we can recharge ourselves. We can refuel ourselves, but you decide what kind of energy is going to be vibrating for you to find ease in that, or for you to find a big mountain that you continually have to climb for that. So here we are. I hope and trust that this was super supportive for you. Thank you so much for hanging out with me, for vibing with me, and for staying until the end of this video. And happy Leo New Moon, happy Lughnasadh, happy Perseids meteor shower, happy 8/8 Lionsgate portal, happy light activation and ascension and manifestation in your life. I cannot wait to feel the vibration that you're going to emanate out into the world through this. And until next time, y'all, don't forget to keep looking up.